food fights.
And tonight we are going to be making blackberry scones.
How are you doing your blackberry scones?
I'm doing mine with matcha powder and cream cheese.
Okay, and mine's going to be keto for all those people trying to do keto out there. And I'm going to be doing a chai type seasoning. Very simple. Few ingredients. Alright, so what do you got in your bowls first?
In my large bowl, I have 2 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We're using light brown sugar for this one. And 1/3 cup of plain white sugar. In this small bowl, I have 2 tablespoons matcha powder, 1 tablespoon baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, and half a teaspoon pink Himalayan salt. And in this measuring cup, I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and a full tablespoon of vanilla extract.
So my dry ingredients are really simple. I only have 3/4 cup of coconut flour. That's it for my flours. I'm not going to try and add anything else. Then in my little seasoning bowl, it's supposed to be chai, which is a whole bunch of different spices. I went the easy route and I did 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice and then a 1/4 teaspoon of clove. I'm hoping that's going to get me close to the chai flavor. We'll see. I also did 1/8 teaspoon of my monk fruit extract. What is it? It's pure monk fruit extract. And I also have 3/4 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and that's it for my dry. And I'm going to actually put all mine in the sifter here because I want to make sure. So I'm going to put all mine in a sifter and I'm going to sift it to make sure that my coconut flour doesn't have any big lumps in it, which will really happen, especially if you keep it in the freezer. That, and it'll help me mix my the rest of my dry ingredients in.
Did you break it?
Something happened.
Now, Mom, where do you get monk fruit extract?
I ordered mine on Amazon. That was the only place I could find it. I haven't looked since we moved here to Idaho, but in Sonoma, nowhere has it. So it was definitely something I had to order online. I have to say, since I've got the monk fruit, I prefer it to the erythritol, the stevia. I've tried them all. They're all way too phony tasting to me. The monk fruit has been the first one, as long as you don't use too much, and too much can happen really, really quickly with the monk fruit. So there, all my dry ingredients are nicely sifted together. Let's see. Yeah, there's little extra pieces that we really don't want in our scones.
Alright.
Does that smell like chai to you?
It smells... Hold on. It smells like coconut flakes, like coconut shrimp.
Oh, like coconut shrimp. These may be very interesting scones. You got your matcha and everything in there.
Yep.
It's going to be so pretty, the light green and the purple, I think.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it actually gets the color of the matcha.
I think it should. There's plenty of matcha in there.
True. But there's a lot of flour.
There is, but you know that the matcha, the pure, really good. This is ceremonial matcha, not like baking matcha or anything like that.
I thought we had the baking matcha.
No, this is the ceremonial matcha, which is the better stuff.
Ah.
So I mean, it's the pure leaf of the green tea, and I think you're gonna get a soft flavor in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not sure you can see it very well, camera, but it has
Camera.
And audience.
There you go.
But I mean, the camera's right there.
Yeah, but you're talking to your audience, not the camera.
You sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We're hoping there's an audience.
Please like us.
Like, comment, subscribe.
But, so, as you can see, hopefully you can see it, it is turning a really nice light green. Like, mossy green, kind of.
I don't know if you want to say your scones are mossy green. want to take that bowl for you?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right.
So now what else do you need to do with your dough?
I need to cut in a 1/4 cup of butter, cold and hard, preferably if you put it in the freezer for about half an hour and then chunk it. That makes it the easiest to cut it into your dough. And also 4 ounces of cream cheese, preferably cold. Warm cream cheese will kind of get in between your fingers.
Are you going to use a machine?
I'm using my hands to get it all together, and you want smaller than pea-sized little pieces of like butter or cream cheese, and just make sure it's all thoroughly incorporated into your mix.
So kind of like you're making a pastry crust?
Yes.
Okay.
And what do you need to do?
I'm just going to have my cream.
Oh.
That's all there is with mine. Coconut flour is extremely absorbent. So while she has 2 3/4 of cups flour in hers, mine only has 3/4 of a cup of the coconut flour, but we should get almost the same amount of yield in the finished product, because this will actually absorb so much of this cream and just expand. It's amazing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and stir my heavy cream in while you're doing that part.
Now this part gets really messy. You can choose to use some utensils like a pastry cutter or a fork. I prefer my hands.
That's the way you've been doing it since you were a kid, though, when you started making pastry.
Yep. So.
She makes the best pumpkin pie every Thanksgiving. Just have to say that. Everybody asks about her pumpkin pie.
One of the things I always do is cover the butter and cream cheese in the flour I'm using. That way, even as I'm mixing, it's less likely to get all over my hands because they're already covered in flour, which helps keep sticky stuff off.
Oh, sorry, did I get you?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Let me know if you guys see if she gets me.
Yeah, I need to, What other things should we battle, Karen?
Well, there's pizza.
There is pizza. Maybe the subscribers should tell us what else they'd like to see us battle keto against regular.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
kind of fun.
Now, again, we don't test our recipes. We kind of come up with them. We look at different recipes and how they're made. I may need to add more heavy cream to mine.
Yeah.
My coconut flour is taking in all this heavy cream really quickly. I don't know if I'm gonna get a stable dough, but I'm gonna.
One thing I will say about the matcha powder so far, it gives it a more gritty texture than is common with all-purpose flour. So be careful about that.
You feeling it in there?
Yes.
You're definitely gonna have a different texture with mine with the coconut flour. Most of the time, anytime you use coconut flour, you're gonna put in a 1/4 cup of liquid and an egg for every 1/4 cup of coconut flour, especially when baking with it. It's just so absorbent. Like I said, this is 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and it's taking it all in. But I mean, these are scones, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just go with it. And it's kind of a doughy texture.
Very doughy. That looks kind of like ice cream or tuna.
I actually kind of like this texture. It's a nice dough. I'm going to be able to shape it really well. There's no eggs or anything in here, so let's try. I like that.
Tastes like pumpkin.
Are you doing
The
loud?
coconut and the spices that I used,
Yeah, I did all 3 floors.
and even
Little brothers, man. Have to make editing so much harder. I am almost done incorporating my butter and cream cheese.
So with mine, the spices that I used, and then the monk fruit, it's a soft sweetness. I'm not having that aftertaste in my mouth. I like that. That's why I like the monk fruit. The erythritol left my mouth feeling cold, and then the stevia left that really long aftertaste that I did not like at all. So the monk fruit, I'm definitely preferring it. And I mean, while it's expensive, you'll look at this container online and go, whoa, but it lasts for so long. This is Lakanto. Not that it's not
Not
sponsored or anything like that, but this is just the one I got and I really like it. It's pure monk fruit, 0 calories, 0 glycemic index for those people doing keto, watching the glycemic index, or people with diabetes. Watching where on the glycemic scale the foods you're eating make a huge difference. It's how your body reacts to the sugars, and your sugars go up and down. I know there's a better way to say that, but I'm gonna put my blackberries in and start getting this on my tray.
Alright, I need to put my cream in and then I'll mix my blackberries in. Should I use my hands for the cream?
No, I would use the spoon.
Alright, so I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
So Karen switched to doing it by hand out on the board. It got pretty stiff inside the bowl with the spoon and she wanted to get it incorporated really well. So that's what you're seeing here.
And if you're not trying to be super clean, I'm sure you could just do it on the counter. If so, put a little flour down just to make sure you're not sticking to your countertop.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be super clean, put some parchment down or a cutting board. Anything you have convenient.
I got my berries all mixed in. I didn't really smush them up a lot, but I wasn't super careful about stirring it. I think that extra moisture as it's baking will be nice to come out into the coconut flour, give a little better texture.
Now,
How are you gonna put your berries in?
Slowly gonna knead them in.
Okay.
You just need to be super careful and be super careful not to overwork the dough and over knead it, because that'll slowly cause the butter and cream cheese to get warm and it'll kind of sink and melt in the oven. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of flatten that
You're gonna
out.
kind of fold it in.
Yep. Flatten it out a little bit.
They're good berries.
These ones are not as sweet as the ones in our keto cheesecake video,
No, they're not as sweet as that.
but I prefer these ones because they do have that mild tart, but are still sweet enough to balance.
These ones remind me when I was a kid and we'd go up to Magic Mountain to visit Grandma and Grandpa Markram. There was berry bushes all over the place, you know. So at the right time of year, you just go walk down the mountain and pick blackberries, wash them in the little streams that are running across. And that's what we would eat while we're out there playing around and stuff all day long. That's what these remind me of.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna keep eating them.
Flattening out a little bit again. There should be enough dough to sort of protect. Now, the recipe says around 3/4 cup of blackberries. Put in however many look and you think will taste good.
How many are you gonna use?
That depends.
How many you can get in there?
Yeah.
What about decorating the top with some afterwards?
I don't know.
Just
What if we were to cook some down and put it in the glaze?
I could be totally wrong. But wait, I'm mom. Most of the time I am totally wrong.
No, you're not. Let's be real. Like 9 out of 10 times. 99 out of 100 times. Your mom's probably right.
We just make it up as we go along.
The oven is set at 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
We have it preheating. That way we're ready to go. I need to get in here right by you, please.
Alright.
Thank you. Loud noises coming soon.
Okay, how flat should I make this?
It's looking like maybe you should have made 2.
Probably.
Well, think about a scone. When you eat a scone, you don't want it super thick and it's going to puff up because you have the baking powder and the baking soda in it. So you probably want to get this pretty well through here. And then, do we have a pizza cutter?
Yes.
Because a pizza cutter is a great way to slice through your scones when you're baking them, you know, right before you bake them.
Now, unfortunately, I'm mashing all the berries as I'm doing this. You should probably divide your dough in 2. Make a couple of batches and see how that works. Let us know. Send us tweets saying, hey, here's how
Show us when you make it.
If you don't like matcha, but you like black tea, put some black tea in the heavy whipping cream, heat it up, and have it sort of brewed black tea, and incorporate that, and you'll have black teaspoons. Don't like blackberries? Try apricots, raspberries.
Apples, pears. Ooh, dried fruit. I love dried pears. I'm not supposed to eat them, but I love them. I could see this like,
So I'm going to consider this done. It looks kind of like a Cyclops version of Shrek.
Now, see, isn't this amazing? Look, like I said, I only used 3/4 cup of coconut flour.
Do I need to make mine flatter?
No,
Yours looks really flat compared to mine.
I don't know. But look, 3/4 cup of coconut flour. I want to get this divided into 8.
I just stopped in my thing. I'm going to sweep all that up in a second.
So if I do 4, I'm going to try and make them as even as possible, but I'm not so much of a perfectionist.
I suck at making things even, which kind of sucks as a perfectionist.
Let's see, put that in there. Do you want me to wipe that off for you? Or do you care?
I don't care.
I'm going to kind of move mine apart a little bit.
Because they do rise a little bit, and you don't want them to all clump together again as they're baking. Although.
So this dough is really super soft, my keto dough. So I'm kind of having, as I move it, kind of stick it back together. It's not too bad, it's just really soft, and hopefully that means it's going to be super tasty. Oh, my berry came out of this side. No, go back, berry, go back.
All my berries are kind of popping out.
I think that's okay, they'll bake up and they'll be yum.
Mine really looks like an ogre now. It has this berries up in here.
Okay, so I mean that's good for me. I'm going to try this a bite. There's no eggs or anything. Sorry.
Nah.
Mm.
Because I don't know how soft my dough is.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
That's good. Hey, you try new things. Keto versus regular. Do we want to see some more foods? Breakfast foods, lunch foods, dinner foods, desserts, drinks. What would you like to see us compare the two types? And we're going to try when we do it to have the family sitting down trying the food when we're done, so that you get an example of not just me who is trying to eat keto, but other people in the household who aren't and their opinions. Did you steal more berries?
No.
No, of course not, huh?
Tell me in the comments. I didn't steal any more berries. Don't snitch me out.
Okay, so how long does yours have to bake? So you're supposed to look to see if they're golden brown, but you might see mine some.
But, well, the edges will probably get a darker shade of either green or kind of
And our berries are
lemongrass color.
Oh, lemongrass?
How I imagine it, where it's like that between yellow and green, but it's not brown.
Okay.
If you're burning, it'll turn brown.
Dark brown. We're gonna hope they don't burn, but 15 to 20 minutes, keep an eye on them. You know if they're starting to get dark on the bottom, get them out, right?
If they're too thick and still getting dark on the bottom, you might have a problem.
Yeah. But luckily, again, there's no eggs or anything in here, so even if it's a little gooey when it's done, it won't necessarily be a scone, but a scone texture and dry and stuff like that, but probably still be really good.
Alright.
So we're gonna get these in the oven
We shall see you
in a little while.
back. Bye!